We're live, and today we've got special guest, Matt Sherrell. Matt Sherrell just flew in from Chicago.
Just off the plane.
And Matt was Olio's bass player from 2007 to 2011. So I thought tonight's tribute to D would be those years. We would share stories. I've got videos queued up, pictures queued up, and I told Matt, when Matt got here, I was like, we can't talk about it because we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it for the live stream. So it's gonna be genuine and unrehearsed, and it's crazy. Like, Matt and I haven't seen each other physically
7 years and 6 months.
It's insane. And we created songs in this very room. Like, that's where you sat. This
maybe
is where I
a couple
sat.
Feet back.
And there's D, and that's where D sat. And Soccer Mom. I remember Soccer Mom, and I wrote it in 5 minutes, and I was like, all right, I have this really ridiculous song, and you guys are probably going to say no and whatever, but I'm just going to play it. And I shared it with you, and you guys are like, oh, we have to do that. That's funny.
Or my greatest contribution to that was with just cleats on.
Oh my God.
I'm done.
Okay. My contribution.
There's the magic.
With just cleats on. Making love with the soccer mom. Oh man. That is crazy.
Yeah, I think the last time that I was in this room was with D, so just even pulling up to your house, like,
I know.
There's no way that I could have forgotten where you lived.
Yeah.
Like, there was, like, I was just like, oh, Canyon, make my left
Here we
turn.
are.
And, but, like, even, because it was probably 12 years ago this month that when I started the audition process, when I had started coming out.
Wow.
Because it was right before Easter.
Because 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember we were holding auditions.
Yep.
And was it through MySpace or was it through?
I found you through Craigslist.
Craigslist. Okay,
yeah.
So D was always good. He's like, okay, I put an ad out, and then he was like, I talked to this guy Matt. He's from Chicago. He's thinking about moving here. So you came out.
And that was
for
a
weekend.
huge gamble. That was a huge gamble that you guys took. So
you came out, and I remember because there was like 3 or 4 other bass players that had auditioned, and you came in and just slayed, and we were like, okay, how are we going to convince him? How are we going to convince him to move here? Because, like, he's awesome.
It really wasn't much. I mean, there wasn't much to get me to come.
You were
here.
just yeah.
And that was the thing, is that because I was in an established band in Chicago where we were working a lot and kind of on the up, and but I was just, check the weather in Chicago right now, and you can see why I left.
Right.
Not right now, after the broadcast.
Yeah, right. Stay with us.
Check the weather in Chicago, and you can see, like, why. It's like it snowed 2 days ago.
That's insanity.
So
it's May tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. So me, like, coming out, there was, I was kind of sick of the Chicago music scene and sick of the weather, and kind of just needed a change of environment. And then I think I was out visiting, and then I was just like, you know what, I love it here. I'm going to start looking for bands. And then it was, via Craigslist, when in Craigslist heyday, when you could trust it, before you had to meet somebody in a Starbucks to buy a laptop.
Yeah.
And I had flown out, or talked to D.
Okay.
Via email, and then I had flown out, and D, like, when I first met D, he was living in Placentia at the time.
Makes sense.
So, and I was staying downtown in downtown LA. He came all the way.
You guys met first?
Yeah.
Before you came here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because he picked me up from the airport, or he picked me up from downtown.
All right.
Drove me here.
Oh.
And then, like, we jammed.
Then we jammed, and then he drove you back to
No, he didn't actually. The phone smasher came and picked me up.
That's a great story too.
That's what her name is.
Phone Smasher.
Phone
Perfect. I love it.
So she came and picked me up.
Smasher.
But like my first introduction to D was just like his grace of just not even a problem coming another 15 miles out of his way.
Yeah.
Like it should have been my problem. Like
right.
if it was me, like I'd be like,
hey man,
my guy.
Yeah, find a ride, man.
But he
was like, no, I'll swing.
I'll
get you.
I'll come pick you up, and got into the pilot, and shook hands and kind of just rapped about, it was like one of those awkward, like you just meet somebody, and like you just meet. It was like a weird first date, like blind date, like because ultimately the goal was to have a working relationship with
right.
So like. On the first date, you don't state your weaknesses, but within, sitting down and just jamming, like he was like, bar none at that point in my life. And still to this day, the best drummer, solid all around drummer that I've ever, that is not touting for,
I know.
For any other sake but truth. Like he was by far the most solid, well-rounded pocket.
I can't wait, man, to so I've queued up videos from live shows, and just when we're and I'll remind you like right before it, so just watch D. Just pay attention to what he's doing. And
I just watched those Soul Tone videos.
Yeah.
From
I got that queued up. And I mean, it's
just a
come
monster.
Come on, it's so good. He's so good.
Just a monster.
He's
you have
so
to forgive
good.
me. I did not wear my uniform.
It's all good. And actually, what's awesome is you're gonna see kind of the Olio wardrobe change throughout the years that you were with us. So the first videos we're just wearing jeans and t-shirts and doing our thing, and then as we progress and we got to that battle, but
Rusties.
we'll get there. We'll tell that story when we get there. So all right, so I'm gonna queue up the first video, and because we're gonna keep in between.
Are we gonna do this
talking
like via a timeline?
Yeah, it's kind of a timeline.
All right, don't throw out the tightest. First, I think we should.
Oh yeah, no. I've set it up well.
Okay. Do you have the
I set it up well.
What was it? Oh, man, I had been here a month maybe. With Young Crew.
Oh, okay. I did not say. I didn't go there.
All right.
I didn't go there because I checked it out. The video quality was not so great, and it's dark and all that. But this might be 2008-ish.
So I'm still fresh off the boat.
So it's new, right? And we did a gig. We had an opportunity. Anytime we got an opportunity to play somewhere, it was just like, well, we're gonna play in front of new people. You never know, and just like, okay, let's just go for it. So we played kind of a semi-acoustic show, and he played on his electronic kit at a Best Buy.
Oh my God! I bought my first studio monitors from that Best Buy
on that gig.
Yes, I still have them today.
Love it.
Oh
my God!
I recorded my first solo album monitored my first solo album with those.
So
and I still have them. They're now my TV monitors.
Okay.
And that cable.
Yeah.
No, that's a different gig.
Okay. All right. So this is Matt and D and myself, and we're playing a song that D sings lead on, and actually it's the song that you heard the recorded version at the top of the show. But this is us live at Best Buy in West LA. Mm-hmm. And you'll see my son Miko, who's like 2 years old or 1.5 or something. He's holding his drumsticks, and you'll see him kind of popping in and out of the video up front. So we'll chat after. Ladies and gentlemen, Nico.
I'm the only one in this whole Best Buy store right now that's sweating. Except for the guy that's got like 9 DVDs in his pants.
Did you hear what you said?
What? Did I curse?
No. You said, I think I'm the only one in this Best Buy that's sweating right now.
I'm usually the only...
But you said, except for the guy that's got 9 DVDs hiding
Oh.
in his jacket. Man, we were just talking about just so glad that that's documented. I mean, you know, I was telling Matt, like, I mean, I'm not sitting around and watching our old videos. So.
I am.
So
I haven't played in a band since I left.
Oh, come on. So just to watch that, and you know, you were commenting on how effortless. I mean, Dee's playing an electronic kit, and if you're a drummer, playing these stiff plastic rods that have no give, like an acoustic kit, those drum heads that just like, you know, you're playing off of them. But he's just doing fills and nothing, like
Singing too.
and singing. We talked about this a few episodes ago. We did a battle of the bands, you know, 3 years ago, and one of the judges who was you know, she was like 23 or 24, and she voted for us because I can't believe your drummer sings. Like, I've never seen that before. Like, really? Okay, so
You don't know Phil Collins?
I was like, what? But, and that's the thing, is just Dee made it so effortless. Like nothing, just...
Yeah, if I had never seen anybody play drums before and saw him, I would think that it took nothing.
Like, yeah. Until you sit down behind the kit and you're like, oh, okay.
So I have to have independent movement of 4 of my limbs, and then also not only remembering lyrics from my left brain, but being able to, like, there's so much automation going on in just a 3-minute song. A 3-minute song.
4 limbs, singing, and putting on a show.
Mm-hmm.
And paying attention to whatever's going on around you, and the guys in the band, and whatever's happening at the venue. And so, really quick, I just want to shout out to everybody that's joined us. Thank you so much for being here. It's just awesome. I love that people are tuning in, and we're sharing DeHaven Carrington stories, and how much we love him and miss him, and just how surreal this whole thing is. I mean... And I was telling Matt before we started, you know, I started this live stream 9 weeks ago just as a cool way to just share stories and play songs and just have recurring, you know, fresh content, and not thinking that, you know, episode 9, Matt would be flying in from Chicago so that we could honor this guy. I mean... I had this printed today and mounted, and, you know, over a week ago, I had no reason to do this. And like, I wouldn't just do this. It's just crazy. All right. So you were talking about when he picked you up, he brought you here, and then, you know, we jammed. What was your impression of him, his playing?
My first impression of the whole outfit was, I am in way over my head. That was...
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. I was coming from like a hip-hop funk outfit that, like, I played in 1 or 2 modes. And it was the first time that I actually had to think about composition and arrangement, and where it's not just... you know, a broken down blues scale for 16 bars, and then, you know, and then some kind of augmentation of that for a chorus. Like this was songwriting.
Right.
And it was the first time that I had, and I had written songs before, but this was like highbrow.
Yeah.
Like from where I was coming from like jam bands, kind of like stoner funk.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like the funk, like that's immediately, because I was like, I'm not going to just move out to LA and just join any other band, because I had been on other auditions.
Okay.
And people were kind of like, they weren't very friendly. They were like, they didn't realize that I was also auditioning them. And so they'd be like, you need to bring. One band told me to fly my amp out, and I was like, That's stupid. Flying my amp out for an audition, and they're like, well, you realize that we're auditioning you. I was like, you realize that I'm auditioning you.
Absolutely.
So this was the first, the first one that I had sat down, and it just immediately just locked. And I think we just picked a key. Yeah. And then
we just jammed.
For 40 minutes or so. But it was the first time when I got the material, and I think it was especially
because you came another time.
Yeah,
right.
And I was a total diva, and I'll never feel good about it. I'll never feel good about it, because I remember asking for money, and it was just really gross of me. Like I was in Chicago. I was a big fish in kind of a little pond. And then. I don't know. I always wanted to apologize to you for that. So sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
But when we all had sat down, and it was like this, and I think the one that gave me a lot of problems, as far as was, I think This Town.
Oh wow. Okay.
Was one. Completely Beautiful was one that I didn't have trouble with, but it was
different than you're used to,
and the dynamic of take one of the songs before, even Here We Go, and we were talking about that, was that intro vamp. I was like, there's no way I'm getting this. There's no way. There's 12.
It was so extra.
Yeah.
I listened back, and it's I was channeling my inner Satriani.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was just extra. Whatever.
But I mean, that kicked me into a different mode of player. I had gotten away with not being lazy, but just being okay, I can flash, and I can pocket.
Right.
But there was no you need to be on the ball.
Yeah.
You need to count.
Yeah, because there's parts happening and things. Yeah, because it's compositional. I mean, it's it's orchestrated with guitar, bass, and drums. And it's it matters what you do, but there's still the beauty of it. I mean, that was the one thing that Dee and I always said, is this is really a bass player's band. I didn't play bass, he didn't play bass, but we just loved bass, and so it was all about setting you up for success. The songs. The bass lines drove that thing. I mean, everybody had their role in what they were doing, but it wasn't just a lot of rock bands. It's just bass players just riding the E, riding the A, and oh, here comes the B section.
Yeah, well, it wasn't
that way.
There was a lot of room for melodic.
Yeah, you're holding melodic weight down, and. So from our perspective, it's funny to hear you say that, you were just oh man, it was just, and I mean, I get it. You were playing in situations that just, they weren't doing that.
Yeah.
I understand. But you brought this command to your instrument, and you, because you and Dee just locked.
Oh,
I mean, immediately. Yeah. And that was just when's Matt moving here? It was just it
took 6.5 weeks.
Something like that. And we were sending you songs, and as soon as you came, I think it was just we started recording.
Yeah.
Because we did Here We Go pretty much right away, because we were releasing that as a single.
There was an EP.
So we did it as a single first, and then we did Living the Dream album. But then This Town, you mentioned This Town, that was on a soundtrack for a movie that I scored called Port Town. And that was the ending credit. That was the song that ended the... Yeah, that's fine. So we had you. So I had already recorded it with me playing bass, but then once you came in, I was just like, oh man, we got to redo it.
I listened to it actually
So
a couple days ago.
But was it?
I wasn't sure if it was me or
if it's on iTunes, it's not you.
Okay.
Because that was released before you got here.
Well,
we're gonna have to fix that. But then when you came, then you redid the bass, and then we would like sell singles with that on it, along with "Here We Go" and I don't know, because that was the time when CDs were king. So we kept like
I'm trying to think that
printing
was a
out
song before,
CD samplers.
A couple of songs.
Besides,
It was "Here We Go," and then I mean, it matters not really. I mean, I just thought that we there was like an EP that we.
Well, there was, maybe there was, and then we took those songs and then put them in the Living the Dream album.
Okay,
so
right.
maybe Box Spring was one of them, right?
Still one of my favorite songs.
Oh man,
ever.
Dude, your bass line is just bananas.
Well, I think the story when I heard the original recording of that, I was like the content.
Yeah.
It was a little like the arrangement was a little tame for the content.
Right.
So like, you know, and I think my vision of that was make it a little sweatier.
Yeah,
like
a little more Best Buy.
Well, to keep
sweaty.
To keep it G-rated. I think my goal was to make the sound a little a little sweatier.
Which was perfect. And we really, energized it.
Yeah, that is a cut. That is a super cut.
That's awesome. All right, so I want to cut to a place where we're doing a song that Dee sang lead on as well, but this is actually on the Living the Dream album, and it's the first cut. We did a few shows at the Key Club downstairs, if you remember.
Yes.
And one of the shows, we had a photographer come and take a bunch of shots. So I had put together like a slideshow, slideshow video with it's Do It All, and it's a montage of all these shots from this Key Club show we did.
I remember that.
And so we're gonna play that for you now, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Three brothers from three other mothers, all funked up to give you what you wanna hear. Three pieces back to what we needed, don't get it twisted, here to set the atmosphere. Three!
Guitar is what I play, let the rhythm on my six string slowly take you away. Melody is what I sing, tell the story of life in harmony with Dirty D.
Do it all, we do it all, we do it all for you. Acoustic. He plays the acoustic. Bass is his claim to fame. With a 4, 5, 6, he knows how to make it sing. Chicago born makes his mama proud. You better watch out when he gets in front of a crowd. Ooh, yeah. We do it all. We do it all. We do it all for you. Oh, that's the bridge, y'all. Can you feel it? Yeah. Look out. Play the drums, even pots and pans. I'll do anything just to get y'all to clap your hands. Me and my boys come to bring you joy. If you like what you hear, let me hear y'all make some noise. I can't hear ya. Do it all. We do it all. We do it all for you. Oh, play that funky music, brothers. Like the dance if you wanna hang. It makes no difference when you're on this disco train. Tight
Yeah,
Brothers
February
Band.
5th, 2009. Wow. I remember because I had another audition that day.
Oh wow. Before the gig?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, I have a gig at the Key Club later, so you have to like fit me in.
Into your schedule.
And it was for like a touring act, like a I forgot her name. She's nowhere to be found now, but like
Okay.
it was for like a touring act. I remember being it's like a total diva about it. I was like, I have a gig at the Key Club later on tonight, so if you can fit me in before 7:30, that would be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you.
I was such a douchebag.
Man, we were just commenting on recording that, writing that, and just how playing with D was just awesome.
Spoiled me. I told him, actually, I sent him a Facebook message last winter, around February or April, about close to a year ago, and I think I was just doing the memory lane thing via YouTube, and I was like, and I sent him a message, and I was like, you completely spoiled me. Like I've been back in Chicago for 8 years, and I have not played with another band since. I've played with people, but I haven't been in an established band.
Right.
Like this is the longest that I mean, I've done a lot of my solo stuff, but this is the longest I've gone, and since I was 19, without being
in a band, part of a unit,
and it's really, I mean, it's after like Olio will spoil you. Like that's no joke as far as the songwriting and the dynamic of arrangement and composition, and plus the caliber of the musicianship. It's really like I would like go to jam nights and just be like. Some drummer would come in just like pounding and playing with open hi-hat and just like what's his name, Animal, like
right,
and just being like you're not listening to him, you're not listening to him, you're not like
that's the thing, you're not listening,
and
that's it,
and playing with Olio, that that 4.5 years was probably like the most I had learned in 20 years of being a musician, the most I had learned about how to play with people and like when to play.
Yeah.
And like how. Like when, how, and what.
Right.
Like a reporter. It's like you gotta listen and analyze and break down all the information that you're getting, and you're talking about a 3-piece band. Which
crazy,
like anybody that had seen us, and I'm even with Kelly, like there's no way that if you were to hear a CD that you would be like automatically you would think that it's a 3-piece outfit,
right?
Like that's obviously 5-6 pieces, and then you see it live, and we're still able to capture the width of the sound in a live performance, which is
so perfect timing, because here's Do It All at the Galaxy. We played at the Galaxy. It was June of 2010. The Galaxy Concert Theater. It's it's near Huntington Beach.
Wait, we're opened up for Wang Chung.
Right. Yeah.
That's also a great story.
All right. You want to tell the story and then we'll play it?
So Wang Chung was a pretty big group in the 80s.
Yeah.
So we had been. Was Wang Chung first, or was
Boingo Dance Party?
Was that first?
I think Wang Chung was first.
Wang Chung was first. Yeah. So we pulled. So you could say that this is like kind of a has-been group. I'm not saying that it was, but some people could say that. Okay. So we're all really excited about showing up. We pull up to the venue. And I took a picture of this. I don't know if you remember this. We pulled up to the venue, and on the marquee,
right,
on the marquee said 6/9 was it, or it was like June 19th, 6/19 Wang Chung. The next weekend after that, 6/27 Midget Wrestling 2. So it was the second installment of their midget wrestling series at the Galaxy Theater.
You took a picture, and I remember.
And I was like, I've made it. Like, this is what it's all about.
They did put on a great show, though.
Oh yeah, they were amazing.
They were
Yeah.
great.
And they were super nice, and
they're super nice. But yeah, that's funny stuff you see. So this is the magic of that song, "Do It All." So you just heard the recorded version of "Do It All." Now this is us live.
I don't think I've seen this.
Okay, so this is us live at the Galaxy Concert Theater.
Mothers all funked up to give you what you want.
It's so hard to like see that without the uniform. Like
Funny.
Like even, like post me.
Right.
Like that's what I'm used to seeing.
Right.
Like having
Yeah.
we were all just like, hey, I'll wear this and I'll wear that.
Yeah.
Like how that really, like, no pun intended, but like tied everything together.
Yeah.
Like it was almost, we were too tight to not have that
something
cohesion in the visual aspect.
And I really think, I talked about it last week, I think that's why we won. Like, do you remember? Okay, this drove me nuts. That first round, I'm not going to mention the band, but
it was a color, right?
No, it was not.
Oh.
But I'm not going to tell you because
Okay.
whatever. But we were so cocky. Like, we finished and it was just like, oh yeah, this felt good. We're advancing to the next round. And I remember when they announced the other band as the winner, the whole room, you could hear the whole room. And it wasn't even, it was like their people said, huh?
Yeah.
And then we squeezed in. We were like, well, you guys will be runner-up and we'll just let you through. And the next round, we were like, let's wear ties. Let's like
look the part.
let's look the part. And then it was like, oh, we won that round, and then we
Yeah.
got to the finals. And I'm gonna share. I've got video of the finals, and I got video of just that whole period. So we'll get there. But yeah, I mean, D at the Galaxy singing, playing drums like nothing, just nobody's business. All right, I want to go through some photos, and we're going to talk about. So this was back at the Galaxy, but this is a year later. May.
Am I wearing the same thing?
I don't think so. May of 2011, and we're opening for Boingo Dance Party, which is all the original members of Oingo Boingo, except
Save Danny Elfman.
right. And but that was a really fun gig. Like I remember, we all went to their rehearsal. Did you go?
I don't think I went.
You didn't go, so only Dia and I went. They invited us. Johnny Vatos, the drummer, he was like, "Yeah, come down to our rehearsal and meet the guys." And so we went a few weeks before the show, and hung out in their rehearsal space, and we're listening to them like
Play Oingo Boingo.
Oingo Boingo with the original guys and the horns and the keys, and it was just amazing. It was like, wow. So that was a really fun show. This is at a farmer's market.
Oh, the Del Rey
Yep.
Farmer's Market where we got paid in fruit.
We did.
sure, yeah.
In produce.
Mhm.
Yeah. 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 Farm to table
Mhm.
to our grocery
They would
bags.
give us like a stipend, like a $50 stipend or something
Yeah.
like that, and then
And then we got a bunch of. I remember you scored with like, check out all this broccoli I got.
these tomatoes are amazing.
Yeah. So good. And
That's at the L.A.
this might be like the Relay for Life, or
It's either the Relay for Life or it's when we did the soccer stadium.
okay, I've got a shot of that. So it might be, because you'll see. Yeah, there we are. So no,
Yeah.
it wasn't. So he's wearing something different there. So we, because of Soccer Mom, they reached out to us, the LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy is a soccer club, if you don't know, and the MLS. And they reached out and said, we'd love for you guys to do like a pre-game show. So we ended up playing Soccer Mom like 3 times.
Oh, that's right.
Because we had T-shirts. Joe Bedard helped us out, and we had, I don't know, 100 or 200 T-shirts printed. And then the whole thing is we were giving them away. So we were playing the Soccer Mom song, and we had the Soccer Mom graphic on the front of the shirt with the character of Soccer Mom.
Play it 3 times.
And we played it 3. So we played other songs, but it was just like, because the plant,
and the crowd
people
was,
kept filtering through.
Yeah, so it was new to
It was
them.
every time it was new for the next round of people. But yeah, that was that LA Galaxy. And
Oh, I know, that was in the Valley.
yes, it was. It was like a green, like a Earth Day kind of festival or something like that.
And that was right after I had just brought my 5-string home. Let me look at this closer.
Because it looks like it's your 4-string there, though.
That's my 5.
It's your 5? Okay.
Let me and I am wearing that shirt right now.
I love it.
I don't throw away clothes. And
Hey, man, that's
my
good
fiance
use.
will tell you
That
like,
is good
she's
use
like,
of clothing.
you have to go through your t-shirt drawer. Now I really have to. But yeah, that was in the Valley. That was like off of Balboa, I think.
Yeah.
In this huge park, and there was a K-pop band, or like, remember that band that they played
Yes.
the main stage?
Yes.
And it was like,
They were playing to tracks.
yeah,
And-
they all had the Janet Jackson hamburger mics on.
Yep. And they were in like neon pink or neon green, and yeah, I remember. This is my surprise
Your birthday party, your 40th, right?
Yep. And then we ended up. I thought it was a gig, so I show up thinking it's a gig, and you're with me because I pick you up. I pick you up to go, and it's in Redondo Beach.
It was at a restaurant.
It was at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yep.
Upstairs in the banquet room.
Yep.
And Dee had said, yeah, we got hired for this private party. Okay. And I kept asking questions like, well, who is it? And what are we like? What's the deal? Like, don't worry about it. Just.
And I think at the end you were like, so we're not getting paid?
Right. But Beth had totally surprised me, and my family flew out, and friends flew out, and it was amazing. It was amazing. So that was Relay for Life. So that shirt.
Wow.
So check you out in your yellow shirt as we're chilling either before or after we played.
That was...
And that was in Pedro, because
Yeah.
I've got my Pirate Town Productions, because that's the production company that produced the Port Town film. So I was representing them. Man.
Yeah, there's a good chance that that's when I was still DJing, and that was probably a Saturday or Sunday morning.
Right.
So
and
I'm
like gotten home at 4 a.m.
Yeah, 4
and it was like, okay, I need you to be down here at like 9. And you barely
there.
slept, and you've hustled down. All right, so that we're back at the beginning of that. Yeah, man, just crazy times.
Before I had wrinkles.
Crazy times. All right, so the next thing is Dee was endorsed by a cymbal company called Soultone. Soultone Cymbals, shout out to them. Once he found you guys, he never looked back. I mean,
Yeah, but it really defined.
Yeah.
Like defined that
that sound. Yeah, I mean, he just loved Soultone, and so they had invited us to come to their studio, and I remember they didn't have mics set up to do vocals, but
Is that why?
That's why.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why. Because they were like, we don't have mics because we don't have monitors, and you won't really be able to hear yourself. And so later, after the videos of bands after, they had figured it out. And
I
so
thought it was
bands,
just because like they were just showcasing.
On his playing and the cymbals. So no, it was just they didn't have vocal mics, and it wasn't set up for that. And so we were like, okay, well, we'll just do an instrumental version, which turned out great. So here's us in the Valley at Soultone playing One Last Goodbye, and it's instrumental, and you can really just focus on Dee's playing and his cymbal work. Yeah, they had
overhead cameras on them, so you can actually I actually watched it a couple days ago.
Yeah,
and I was showing my fiance, and I was just like I think the only thing that I could say every couple measures was just it's effortless, just like
so
butter,
good.
hot knife through butter.
So good. So here's a master class on drumming. good.
Woo.
So good. I mean, it's just like cymbal work. That's why he loved Soul Tone so much. I mean, it just cuts through. Just, he makes it look so easy. One of a kind. One of a kind.
I'm still, I haven't been, I think maybe there was a handful of occasions where I had been in this room without him. And I think it was maybe if I was coming over to do overdubs or something.
Yeah. But generally in this room, he's here. And we're working on stuff. Yeah. So One Last Goodbye was a song we actually shot a music video for. And this music video we shot at your place, which was awesome because we needed a location and you were just like, yeah, okay, we can use my place.
We could be loud.
Yeah, we can do our thing.
Do whatever we wanted to do to
the space. And so we totally just took it over, and I had that long roll, that white roll of paper.
Yeah.
And we just like hung it from the ceiling and kind of to create a white psych effect.
Yeah, but with no floor.
All right.
We didn't psych the floor.
We just kind of cheated it a little, you know? And so we shot pretty much all the performance shot was in there.
And then on the roof.
And did we do anything on the roof? Oh, yeah, that's right.
You did the signs.
That's right, the signs on the roof. But then we had your friend.
Kat.
Yes.
Kat Howell. Shout out to Kat Howell.
Yeah, that was awesome. She did a great job. She was the love interest.
The part. Yeah,
she was the love interest of the One Last Goodbye song. And you'll see her smash a phone, but she was not the phone smasher.
No, she's not the phone smasher, but that incident was so...
It was that was true story.
Yeah.
And that's why that came into the video, because a girl had smashed your phone.
Yeah, and that just that whole chain of events of, like, it really... The phone smashing incident led me... That's why I moved to Venice. It was like accidental. So there was like a whole bunch of a string of events that happened, and as kind of dramatic and gross as that was, it brought me to a lot of things that I don't know if I would have or would have not met a lot of the people that I did. Or
probably not.
Like playing shows at Danny's.
Yeah, I mean
the job that I had at the barbecue spot.
Totally, that was all from you moving to Venice.
Yeah, and that was all because
the Phone Smasher.
The Phone Smasher.
Phone Smasher. So Phone Smasher totally inspired this music video of One Last Goodbye. So this is shot at Matt's place in maybe 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Does that sound right?
I moved in there at I think December of 2009.
Yeah. All right, so enjoy.
I explain how I said what I said to you. I relied on how you said what you said to me. I'm away and you stay. How I miss you, I pray for us every day. I wanna know, has he taken my place? Close your mouth, it's no surprise. Lie to my face for the last time. Let's cut the ties. No more hellos, just one last goodbye. I regret how I feel, what I feel for you. I forget how you feel, what you feel for me. Are you strong enough to bend? Let me go and let it end. Let's not pretend our love is gone. How can we be friends? No more tears should you cry. I won't be standing by. Well, I won't deny. Loving what I do was too much for you. Since you won't let me know, time to let you go.
Don't want no teardrop letter. Always thought we could be better. Arguments, no compromise. No hand to hold, no woman, no cry. Don't bring me down with your lies. Moving on, look to the skies. Close your mouth, it's no surprise. So I'm leaving you with one last goodbye.
Loving what I do
So I remember being on the roof shooting that, and the wind was blowing really hard, and it just...
Oh, is that why it stuck to
It
you?
stuck to me because the wind was blowing. You know, the idea was just supposed to drop.
Right.
And it just held on me and whatever. But, man.
That we had pancakes that day.
Yeah, we did. You made pancakes. It was great. I remember showing up early, and we prepped, set it all up. You made pancakes, and we
in that little galley of a kitchen that I had. In the Taj garage, I called it.
Man. Amazing.
But that was, those days where, I think the one thing that I always felt, well, like I said, I always felt well, I don't want to say well fed, but just like very well taken care of by both of you. Like, I, especially being fresh off the boat and, not having a lot of network, resource, and just never meant to feel like I was new.
Yeah.
And like, I think, one of the things where I don't, and I haven't played with another group, or where, because there was this just familial, I would house sit for you, and I take care of the dog and babysit, and
right.
And it was like, I was, you guys had mortgages and kids, and I was like homeless. Sometimes the first year of me being in Los Angeles, and like I never felt once that I was, that any of my needs were ignored, and like and it was like almost immediate. I think D took a little bit longer to warm up to me before, not that he was cold or anything, but like that he was just like, I don't know about this cat yet. And I say, cat. It's good now, but like, as soon as I think the first like 3 or 4 months, and it was just like, like we were, like there was surely like a brotherhood there.
Absolutely.
And even though I was the little brother and kind of, getting into trouble all the time, but I never ever, once felt like, out of place, or like that you guys ever, looked down on me or gave me like,
we just looked at it as family.
Yeah.
Your family, and we're in it together, and we're just there for each other. That was just an unspoken thing. Like, we didn't like, hey, let's make sure we're taking care of Matt. Let's make sure we're looking out for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just whatever. It was just kind of, my upbringing, his upbringing, your upbringing. It's just, we all came together, and that's why it worked so well. It's like, we created this music, and we went up to Mammoth a few times, and we played up there, and
got something in my eye.
Yeah. Yep. I remember we drove out to Denver. We played Colorado Music Summit, this music festival.
That was like early. That was November of 2007.
No way.
Yeah. So like I had.
Oh, so that was early on. Okay.
Fresh off the boat.
And we stayed with my buddy Craig Black. So you probably will see this at some point, or maybe you're in right now. Shout out to Craig Black.
Thank you, Craig.
When you lived in Denver.
Say hi to your daughter, Sophia. I think she was about 5 at the time. Right?
Yeah. Now she's like full-on soccer player. Like,
wow.
Amazing. Yeah. So Mammoth, Colorado, and just crazy stories.
They could have been a lot crazier.
Yeah, but there we go. There was a couple like, where'd Matt go? Oh, we played in Vegas.
We could make this G-rated.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do that.
We got tickets to a venue, a nightclub venue, and we all had planned on going after the show, and then I was like, "We're going.
We have to go.
Got a free shuttle."
Yeah, free shuttle to the...
And then at the last second, D was like, my knees are killing me. And Arif was like, I'm tired. And I was like, well...
I'm not. And my knees are fine.
My knees are fine.
So
and my eyes are open.
And I have
all the singles I could So I went by myself, and then
Watched the sun come up, and we were like, "Where's Matt?"
Yeah, but that's what I mean about like
Yeah.
being a knucklehead, and like never, like there was never any like judgment or like when you guys have mortgages and kids, and like I said, like I was it's at one point sleeping on a couch for 4 months at my buddy's place in Venice, and there was never I was never made to feel like I was making mistakes, or as long as like the music was as it is, and like as long as there was camaraderie between, like there was never no judgment.
We're good.
We're
good. Here we are. Okay, I want to segue to us. House of Blues, 2010, and this is Soccer Mom. House of Blues show. So I'm gonna play it, and I'm sure spark some memories.
Mamacita do fútbol. Mamacita do fútbol. ¿Te gusta el fútbol, mamacita? No, she doesn't even wear this. Bend her hair, falls around her face. Looking good, she's filling out her own jeans. She's loved by everybody on the team. She wears her pride like a jersey. Not afraid to get a little dirty. To every game, sweet smile, stimulating to the vein. Shows us all how to really like her love. Not afraid to mix a little booze up. We can see half face, she's sexy cool. On a dance floor for her and number four. No why we watch her move and we ain't got no other life. She was not the one to watch. Deacon dances, grandma's panties in the rock. Senior reunion, no one can recall her name. A day bloom when she was baptized, all the shame. Now she's grown up, like her body goes to face. Some friends picture her memories. To you, fulfilling their desire. All the music, ain't not in my fire. She's the one, with the cycle. She's on the ring.
Was that the show where the stage manager was like, "You guys are the best band that we've had in
Yeah.
here for"? That was the same show.
Yeah.
Because we did two.
Yeah, we did too. Yeah. It was that was awesome. I was like, I got an email the next day from him, and he was just like, that was hands down, you guys are the best band that's come through here.
Was that the same? Did we meet Gary that night? Or that was a Gig Boss. That was a Gig Boss show, I think. You didn't meet him.
No,
you didn't meet him that
that
night.
was not a Gig Boss show.
That wasn't. The one after that was.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was...
Shout out to Gary Butler.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Gig Boss. GB. Yeah, that was a different... Because that was Hollywood.
Right.
That was the Hollywood show. And GB did Anaheim.
No, we never did Anaheim.
So
We did Anaheim once it was an open mic.
Oh.
And it was stripped down. I think.
All right,
D
so then maybe
had like a couillon or something like that. That's all he
Yeah.
had, and like a shaker.
That's right. I forgot about that one. That was in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And it was like a sign up. Deal.
Right. We signed up and we did like 3 songs, maybe max 2.
I couldn't find parking. So and I was like brand new,
Right.
and like driving out of Anaheim.
Yeah.
Like, it was a 50-minute drive,
Yeah.
and I was living in Sherman Oaks at the time.
Oh. Okay.
Can we talk about the gig in Sylmar?
Yeah.
Like that?
Okay. Remind me of Sylmar. I don't.
Is when we finished. We had just finished Working for America, and we were like, we need to debut this in a country western bar.
Oh.
So
wow.
we went out to Sylmar and
And
I think we had maybe a half an hour set, something like that.
And-
but that was the only country thing that we had.
yeah.
So that we threw that in, I think, right at the beginning, and the rest of it was like that stripped down funk, and like everyone else was kind of in cowboy hats. And,
Right. But they loved it.
Yeah, but it was definitely one of those Blues Brothers moments. Where
Yeah.
like, we gotta play Rawhide.
Yeah. We're gonna play Working for America. Oh man, funny.
Chicken wire in front of the stage.
Funny memory. Oh man, thank you for that. That is good.
And I just remember it was very dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a dark
getting-
room.
Getting home was
Oh.
was troublesome.
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of street lights.
Nope, not in Sylmar.
Yeah. Oh man, that's fun. I've got another slideshow. So this is another one at the Galaxy. So that's a D at the Galaxy.
Danny's in Venice.
Yep. So Danny's was a great place for us to work out songs. That was awesome because we would do
7 to 10.
Yeah, 7 to 10. And I mean, we probably played there
20 times.
probably easy. And it was great because it was all ages. So my family could come, Alexa and Miko could come, Dee's kids came, Leah would come, Beth would be there. And I mean, it was great. It was great. We'd set up and just play our 30 songs and try stuff out.
That's a rough one because you guys had a show there the day that I left.
Yeah. And you
The
came down.
day that I left, and while I was walking out the door, or while I was about to leave, you guys started playing "Hello So Long," and I couldn't stay. I absolutely
Had to
lost
go.
it. I lost it, and I was like, I gotta just all choked up, and I wanted to leave, but didn't want to. I was really torn at that point.
And we were just a duo.
Yeah.
We just did it as a duo.
Yeah.
So we did that gig as a duo, and then we did this Manhattan Beach Fair a few days later as a duo. And yeah, wow, I remember now.
That was rough.
I remember, and you came down, we hung out, and we played that song.
That was mean.
No, man, it wasn't mean. It was all love.
No, I know, but it was
all love.
it was like the
Yeah, it's just
it was the best and worst thing. Like
totally bittersweet, and just oh man, we were bummed, man. We were bummed that you were leaving, and we were just like, oh. Here we are at Danny's, and yep. Okay, so there's a full band shot of us at the Galaxy. I think Regina took those Galaxy shots.
Oh wow!
So my cousin Sarah, she came out and she took band shots, and we used this for our press kits and things like that.
And she did drop a psych in your living room.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's that same roll.
Paper?
Yeah, it's that same roll that we used in One Last Goodbye. So it can be seen here in the background.
Oh, I look so sullen.
Man. Crazy. So that was a shot from our birthday.
Your party, yeah.
And so I photoshopped the background out and put us on the O, and we used that for a lot of different promo.
I love those shoes. Those are like my favorite pair of shoes I've ever had.
Do you still have those?
No, but they were badminton shoes.
Oh wow!
They were shoes that I would skate in them, but they were perfect for skating. But they were designed to play badminton.
Yeah.
And I have never found them again.
Wow. All right, here we are at Soul Tone. So good. All right, so we're back at that. Back at the top of that one. Before we started the show, I want to touch on that story in Fullerton. We had a show at Mr. Biggs. Was it called Mr. Biggs or Mr.
Biggs, just Biggs.
It's just called Biggs. Biggs. We did this gig, and did they play? Oh, okay.
After.
Okay, so it was a gig with a couple other bands, and there was kind of a cute girl in the next band,
Bass player.
and she had, she was super nice, and she came to you and said, "Hey, would it be all right? I'm in the next band. Would it be all right if I borrow your bass amp?"
Of course.
And she was super sweet and really nice, and we were just like, yeah, cool. And so D was like, we did the set, and he was like, I'm out. And D left. And I stayed around just because...
Did he leave?
Well, he didn't... I don't know. Do you think he stayed? You and I stayed to the very end.
Yeah, because I had to wait for my gear.
You and I... So I just... Because of what went down, I stayed with you. So we did our show. The band borrows Matt's amp, and they set up, and they start playing. And it's this pro-Nazi band. And we looked at each other like, what is this?
They were They had their fans walk in with white shirts, black shirts that said in bold white letters, it said "White Pride," and they were on stage.
And they were like,
like mind you, borrowing
your amp,
my biracial amp, after they had seen DeHaven,
right, and had no problem.
Big Brother playing.
No
on
problem
the drums.
taking. Borrowing your amp and then just totally just spitting all over us.
Oh, and just the material was inflammatory and hateful, and then
it was so bad.
And then I remember, so they had said, they'd asked me before, they were like, we can, we'll throw you some money, and I was like, no, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. And then after they got off stage, I was like, you know what? I'll take that money.
Yeah. And
he was like, oh, well, I got to send my girl to the ATM. And I was like, you better do it now.
So I waited with you.
Yeah.
Because of that band. So there's no coincidences, because I waited extra. It was late. It was, now it's coming, last call.
It's a school night, probably.
Yeah. And, I wanted to go home, and I had a 40-minute drive, and I waited with you. And he came back. He paid you.
Mm-hmm. Reluctantly,
reluctantly, but it was, okay. He paid. So I get home that night, and I unload the car, I get into the house, and that's the night that I'm getting something to eat. It's now 2:15, 2:30, somewhere in there. And my dog Matisse needs to go outside, to pee one more time. I let her out in the backyard, and she starts barking at the fence, and she's running back and forth at the back fence.
Is that the fire?
Yeah. So I run outside, and I see this orange glow behind behind my brown, I've got these redwood slats for my fence, and so in between the spaces, I can see this orange glow. I jump up on the fence, and I look over into my neighbor's yard, and there's this low ball of fire. And no one's around, because at first I thought someone was just like, having marshmallows and roasting, whatever, but it wasn't. And in the 5 minutes from the time I discovered it, it shot up the tree, and my fence is burning. The tree is a good, 60 feet high, and flames are, it's just engulfing that tree.
Halfway up the tree.
Oh, and so I call 911. Fire department's on their way. I wake up Beth and the kids. I tell them to get out. I come out with a garden hose. I'm trying to water down my fence, like that did anything. And the fire department came in 5 minutes, and they put out the fire and basically saved my house. So had I gone home when I thought I was going to go home, I would have been asleep in my bed. And that thing would have burnt my roof and burnt my house, and maybe it might not have ended well.
So what you're saying
so
is that
I'm
Nazis saved your house.
well, I don't want to say that, but I will say,
in essence,
I will say our brotherhood is what.
okay.
I like that better.
Okay.
Our brotherhood is what saved my house. So that was timing.
I forgot about that.
Timing was nuts on that. I mean, had I arrived a half hour earlier, I would have had my snack.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone to bed. So yeah.
Is that venue still around?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know. Joe might know. Shout out to Joe.
JoJo.
Maybe he knows. Actually, you know what? I think they opened a second location or a new location,
Yeah.
or that was the new location. I don't know.
Well, we played
at both, right?
yeah.
Maybe that was the old location, and then they had a new location. So
because the new location is where they had like a funk. It was like a funk fest.
oh
Remember? And then like I DJ'd it, and it was just,
yeah,
and it was just they didn't promote it at all.
okay, well, so that happened. All right, so I want to segue to 2011, and we kind of touched on when we had decided in that Battle of the Bands at Rusty's on the Santa Monica Pier, we decided to do the ties and kind of have a, that unit.
Cohesion.
Yeah. So this next clip, it's the song Saturday Night. And actually this version of the song is the original way we played it, because we ended up recording this later after your time, and we changed it up a little bit. But this is the original version, and the finals, we got 15 minutes. There was 3 bands in the finals, and we had a 15-minute set.
We're like 4 songs.
Yeah, 4 songs, and we just like cranked through them. And so this is Saturday Night. I watched it.
We had just finished writing it too, I think.
Yeah.
Within that.
Yeah. It was like, it was new, but we felt so excited about it. And so we opened our set with it. And I really want you to pay attention, everybody out there. Pay attention to Dee's drumming, because, I mean, you guys like just are locked with it, because there's hits and stops and these accents that happen, that go from the verse into the pre-chorus, and it's so good. So here we are, Santa Monica Pier. It's July 2011. We're in the finals of Battle of the Bands, and the winner gets to play again on the pier for their Twilight Dance series that they do every summer. So it's every
stakes
Thursday.
was high.
So yeah, so we wanted to win because we wanted to play in front of thousands of people and do our thing, and so this is us.
Santa Monica, what's up? We are Olio. Next one is called Saturday Night. 1, 2.
These are the days, best of time. These are the ones I will keep in mind. These are the nights, best of time. These are the moments that I will rewind. Do it again. Never say when. Saturday night is another two. Hitting it on, putting on my best shoes. Love has nothing to do with it. Ready to fight.
in Santa Monica. Thank you.
Man. It's fun to watch.
I mean, it really it's those songs that like just that I really haven't, you know, we didn't record those.
No.
So
those were new.
yeah.
Like, you know, we had just basically
haven't
written
revisited
that.
it. Yeah, and I haven't revisited it. So like that's like you're just, you know, kind of putting on my BS face. Like, oh yeah, Saturday night.
Yeah, you were like, what song is that? Right, because it was fresh. We had just written it, and we were excited about it. So we were like, yeah, we're gonna start the set with it, and man. So here's shots. This was on September 1st. So good news. There's another one from September 1st on the Santa Monica Pier. So this was that final. This was from the finals. And I remember just anxiously waiting and nervously waiting, and gatekeepers.
Yeah.
And we found out we won. And that was the moment. I was so excited. We were excited.
I mean, how many battles have we been in?
We did the one at Carvin.
Yeah.
And we made it to the finals.
And
we lost to the
Elephant. No. What was their name? They were good.
Yeah, they were good. I don't remember. But we did that battle. Did we do another?
Did a few, because I think the one at Biggs was a battle.
Oh, okay.
But we did a few, but like that one was like where it all paid off, like all that, and we got to, and so I don't know if you remember this, but when we opened for Dawes, that band Dawes, and Jackson Brown sat in with Dawes. And Jackson was standing on the side of the stage our whole 45 minute set. And when I walked off, he was just like, man, I really enjoyed your set. You guys are really good. And I was like, whoa, man, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it was wild. So, and that was what? There was people on the beach?
They had a Jumbotron on the beach. And so people are on the sand as well as all the people on the pier. But there was a lot of people down on the sand, because I remember just like, shout out to the people on the beach. We were like, whoa.
What?
There's a lot of people. Yeah, so. Man. So as I mentioned before, D had quite a few endorsements. So he did this promo for Silver Fox drumsticks. And I don't know if Silver Fox is still around. Maybe they are. I don't know. D had a lot of stuff going on with different companies, and it's like, oh yeah, now I'm doing this. Okay, cool. And now I'm doing okay. So like keeping up with all that stuff, I don't know. But here's a promo he did. I just wanted to share with you because it's cool.
Oh, this is DeHaven, aka Dirty D, from the band Olio. Here to talk to you about my Silver Fox sticks. I'm presently using the JXJR model, which is comparable to a 3A, which is absolutely perfect for me. These sticks have great weight, which is very important, and their balance is exceptional. So you need to get over to silverfoxpercussion.com, find a local dealer, start trying out some of these sticks. These things are amazing. The coating and all of that good stuff, man. You guys got to check these out. You can check me out playing my Silver Fox sticks, youtube.com/Olio Music, or you can check me out at facebook.com/Olio Music and see me and my Silver Fox in action.
In action. Yeah. You know, when I watch these videos and I watch him, it's like he's just about to walk into the room.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're just waiting for him. He's stuck in traffic and he's on his way. So we can just like reminisce.
Yeah, and he would pull up and you could hear him bumping whatever.
It was loud.
Yeah. Like, oh, D's here.
D's here because you could hear the music.
And that 25-minute setup to get the E drums.
Yeah.
All keyed in and set up and tuned into the MIDI.
Right.
The MIDI drums and yeah, there was so many ritualistic, like almost like you knew there was like for a rehearsal. You know, I would, you know, it was probably a good bet that I was 10 minutes late even.
Yeah, but he's setting up.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
so it was just kind of like built into the deal. Show up, you know, 20 minutes earlier, and
man, yeah, those were definitely days that I really do miss, and the, you know, memories. And like I was telling you before, like I was afraid because of I don't know, like shock, I guess, you know, grief shock. I wasn't sure if I would be able to remember any like stories, and I was like really trying to rack my brain to be like, I can't, like what happened here at this gig, what happened here at this gig, and I was really afraid, and almost I felt like a bad friend because I couldn't piece back together all these, you know, these, you know, 4 years of gigging out 3 or 4 times a month, you know, where I couldn't remember, and then, you know, really like all these stories, all these videos and pictures really do like jog the memory for me, and I'm like, no, I don't feel as Alzheimer-ish anymore now, because before I was really trying to rack my brain trying to figure out and trying to be able to tell stories, and now of course, you know, they're just flowing. But his finding someone of that caliber, personality and talent wise, just like he was a 1 in a million.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a huge loss. I want to showcase this next. It's from that same show on the pier, and it's D singing, and he came to us with these lyrics because at the time there was a lot of these celebrity women, young celebrity women that were just doing stupid stuff and getting in a lot of trouble.
Lindsay Lohan was going to court for
it was just whatever, just ridiculous
shoplifting
stuff. So D was fed up with all this in the news, so he decided to write a song, and he called it Idiot Girl, but it was Idiot Girl. That was his whole play on, you know, Idiot Girl. So this is us, and it's nice and funky. This is us on the pier, September 1st, D singing.
Selfish lifestyle one day could put you on trial. Idiot girl. Drinking, driving, risking life when you realize you're a public nuisance. Idiot girl. Bar tabs, car crash, felonies, and rehab. Life you live is so damn sad. Idiot girl. Every time I turn around, your face is on TV. The lawyers begging, PR spinning, when will it all cease? Time for you to grow up, take responsibility. And maybe then the rest of us can get some peace. Idiot girl, you're an idiot girl. Idiot girl, you're an idiot. The DA too scared to prosecute you, judge too weak to lock you up. Ooh, idiot girl. County jail for just a weekend, out in the club before the weekend now. Idiot girl. Probation is your middle name, you don't care, so who to blame? Pakistan's created you with help from TMZ. And now you live your life in some fake reality. You sacrificed your privacy for public scrutiny. And now you want me to support your false celebrity. Idiot girl, you're an idiot girl. Idiot girl, in orange jumps. Magazines created you with help from TMZ. And now you live your life in some fake reality. You sacrifice your privacy for public scrutiny. And now you want me to support your false celebrity. Give it up, Matt Sherrell on the bass. I need the bass in my bass. I need the bass in my bass. Oh yeah, guitar! Every time I turn around, your face is on TV. Lawyers begging, PR spinning, when will it all cease? Time for you to grow up, take responsibility. And maybe then the rest of us can get something. Idiot girl, you're an idiot girl. Idiot girl, you're an idiot.
Woo!
Hot. Crazy. So I've got one more video queued up, and then there's an ending song that we'll get to. Before we get to well, we can do this last video and then we'll talk after, and then we'll sign off. So it's funny. So Hello Goodbye was written, basically what this is right now, for this reason.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen you in a long time. We come back together, and it's just like, we never left. It's just, that's what true friendship is. And so that's what Hello Goodbye was all about, the theme of that song. But since we wrote that song, I've used it, actually. I've sung it at memorials, and it kind of like the lyrics make sense for that too. And so you mentioned how, crazy we were at Danny's, and you were that last show that you were saying goodbye, and Dee and I were just a two-piece at that point. You were moving to Chicago, and you came, hung out with us, and then you were just like, all right, I'm out of here, have a good night. And you're walking out, and we're playing Hello Goodbye, and it was just like, oh man,
Broke me.
So, and now here we are, and we're gonna play. So Friday is Dee's memorial service, and Leo would like there's like an after party after the service, and so Matt is gonna play with me and Romeo, who's a great drummer and a great friend of Dee's, and we're gonna do Hello Goodbye on Friday, and it's just bizarre. This whole thing is crazy. But so this is us playing Hello Goodbye, and at the time it was called Hello So Long Goodbye, or Hello So Long. That's what we used to call it. But it's but when we recorded it, we just changed it to Hello Goodbye. So here it is.
Same
show, Santa Monica Pier, with Jackson Brown paying attention.
Can you see him?
I didn't notice from the camera angle, but I saw him, from where I was, but here's Hello Goodbye.
We come and go. Sometimes we stay a little while. We never know how long catch a glimpse of how we think it should be. We try to hold on. We say hello, so long, goodbye, till we meet again. We say hello, so long, goodbye. This is not the end. Oh, photographs that take us on the way back. Another place in time. Remember when we thought things never would change? We try to hold on. We say hello, so long, goodbye, till we meet again. We say hello, so long, goodbye. This is not the end. In between goodbye and the next hello, I'm reminiscing. Farewell to my friends. May our love transcend and sustain us. Wish you all the best, and most of all, I thank you. I thank you. We say hello, so long, goodbye, till we meet again. We say hello, so long, goodbye. This is not the end. We say hello, so long, goodbye, till we meet again. We say hello, so long, goodbye. This is not the end. In between goodbye and the next hello, so long.
What a great song.
Yeah.
That's rough. I didn't, you don't expect to kind of have your heart broken twice by the same song,
In different ways.
Yeah.
In different ways. Yeah. So it's been a week. It's been just a crazy week of emotions and grief, and the first 4 days, Monday to Thursday, I was just crying, pretty much every hour, breakdown. And then, so funny. So when I did this last week on Tuesday, I finished the show and I thought, I felt so good because I had shared all this stuff and it's just me in this room and I'm, it's just kind of, it's weird. You're by yourself and yet people are watching, but it's strange. But after showing all those pictures and videos and stories, I felt good. Like I was
therapy.
Totally. And I thought, I think I'm good. Like I really thought,
yeah.
I really thought Tuesday night, it was like 9 o'clock.
Life has a way.
So Wednesday morning, I wake up crying. And it's just bad. Wednesday was the worst. Wednesday was bad. Thursday was bad. And I laugh, thinking that I thought, like, I think I'm good. I think I got it. So and just like the weekend, now there's just kind of like there's just a heaviness and that not being able to pick up the phone.
Yeah.
That thing of just like, I can't. Those, and it's like for a moment that you forget that he's gone, and then you think you can reach out, and then you can't. It's devastating.
Yeah.
The other thing, over the weekend, my son Miko had a baseball game, and so it was great because for 2 hours I was just focused on baseball, and I mean, I just forgot everything else. And the game ended, and we all got in the car, and we all were just like, ugh. It was almost...
You had to go back.
It was almost worse because we had a 2-hour break. So, it's you know, it's a thing that I'll be, he'll be with me for the rest of my days, and I'm, like I said before, I'm super grateful, and I'm really grateful that you came.
There's no way I wouldn't have.
I got in touch with you, and you were just like, oh, I'm coming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming, and I'd love to swing it that I come and do this thing with you on a Tuesday. I mean, this was amazing. This was amazing because I know, last Friday I wanted to put something together just because I realized there was so much more videos and stories to share. And then when you said you were coming on, it was perfect because it's we
kind of just dribbled around it.
Yeah, but it's great because we could just focus on those years, 2007 to 2011, and so much happened, and
I mean those were
and there's still more stuff that we didn't even cover. I mean,
as an artist, those years.
Oh man, we developed so much in those years.
Just even interpersonally and personally for me, the growth from 2007 to 2008, the growth that I not only it was like a have to moment. There's no way that I could have kept playing the way that I'm like, oh, I'm good enough, and that it turned I had said in the Facebook post about how important the both of you were to my growth as a musician and as a person, and then both going hand in hand, and just how forever grateful I am to both of you and both your families for really I don't know, just the belief.
Yeah.
And your wife, Beth, I chose a career for the last 12 years because of Beth's giving me opportunities to work in film, and I learned everything that I learned from working with her and kept that career for 12 years.
Right.
So, it's more than just the music. It's more than,
it's definitely a just kind of all around package. A life thing, man.
Well, just how impactful it was for me. Really, I can't even, I can try to put to words how important it was, but just the allowing me to be a part of, not only because you and Dee had been together for 15 years prior, so
yeah, I mean, not about 15,
about 10.
But we started in 97.
Yeah,
so
12 years.
Yeah, so 10 years, and then
that was already a family.
Yeah, that was already a thing, and you jumped right in, and it was just like, let's go, come on.
So I'm forever grateful to the both of you for it didn't, we could have just been bandmates, seen each other at practice, and that's it, and so how important that was for my growth as not only a man but as a musician.
And it just you key. Being here definitely matured me and developed me, and just all around. And Dee was definitely the driving force and the glue that was just.
We may have been the tracks, but he was definitely the train.
Oh yeah, I mean, clearly you just listen to
just
proof. It's just undeniable how effortless.
It's a steam engine.
Man, and that's a funny thing. Dee didn't take drum solos because he didn't believe in drum solos, and he didn't need to. It's like, I can do everything I need to do in the song.
Yeah, but not that we didn't try to bully him into it.
He's like, oh man, we could do a drum solo here, and he's
no, we can't.
Nope. And we're not.
You can solo. Yeah. You can solo. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't come to me with
I'm
that.
Fine. I'm fine. So man, we're gonna close the show. You've been watching Inside the OMG. This is episode number 9 with my very special guest, Matt Sherrell. And I'm so grateful that we had this time to share, and I'm so grateful to all of you for tuning in. And all the comments, I will go back through and read them and reply. But I'm so grateful. And those of you that are going to watch, after the live stream, I'm so grateful that you're watching. And we're honoring somebody that meant a lot to us and changed my life. It changed my life, and you changed my life, and just being part of the family and the Olio family. And I'm just so grateful for that time, and that we're able to share and we're able to honor him. It's a big deal, and it's great. So I want to close out. This is the last song. We won't come back after this, so this will be the last song, but I thought it was fitting. So you don't know what song it is, but it's on the Living the Dream album, and it was one that you were really excited about writing with us, and it's called Holding My Heart. Do you remember that?
Oh, man.
And I remember being in this room and us like working it out and just being so excited about it. And it's had that whole feeling of just that homesickness and that longing for that familiar thing that that we each can relate to, that feeling of being home, and that bittersweet thing of like, well, I had to move away because I'm doing my thing. And so,
and it can be applied to
to where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to close with this. And I love the way this song ends, because there's like that hand clap, part at the end. Yeah. And it's,
well,
yeah, don't give it away.
No spoilers.
Okay. So this is Holding My Heart from the Living the Dream album, and with Matt and me and Dee. Enjoy, and thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you being here. I love you, and I look forward to next week. I'll be back with more stuff. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm sure I'll figure it out, and we'll keep this thing moving. Episode number 9.
I've been told home is where your heart is. My desire making me divided. Souls, love is where your home is. All my wants taking me away. But I must go home, holding my heart, pulling on me to stay. But it's bittersweet this way when I'm old. Hold my heart has found it. All my trust brought me back to you. But I had to go home, holding my heart, pulling on me to stay. But I gotta move on. It's bittersweet this way. Home is where you make it. Ooh, love will never break it. Home, holding my heart, pulling on me. home is where you make it. It's bittersweet this way. Home is where